Hello everybody, we're here at RemoteCon with yet another very interesting product demo on remote work tools. Here with us now we have KPMG Office Check-in app. This is an on-premises application which helps organizations manage where employees work from. This is especially post-COVID-19. The app enables employees to obtain fast approval when they need to come to the office and allows organizations to have a real-time overview of team members' presence in the office. Through this app, you basically can request approval to work from the office or another location, choose an office through an interactive map, and choose a desk quite easily as well through an interactive floor plan. The idea came to the Romanian KPMG office as a response to the recent crisis. As part of the Return to Work plan, their main goal was to offer their colleagues a safe environment to work in. At the same time, considering the dynamics of their business, they wanted to offer group leaders an overview, especially in real time, over who needs to come into the office or who needs to go in client premises. Since only some of the team members are in fact working from the offices, they wanted a tool that would help them control costs and anticipate the logistics needed in terms of front desk officers, cleaning personnel, masks, sanitizer suppliers, etc. For our demo here today, we have Madalina Racovițan, partner and head of people services at KPMG. Hello, Madalina. Nice to have you with us.
Hi, Alexandra, and thank you for inviting me. I'm really happy to be here today with you. Let me show you a little bit how easy it is to use our check-in app, which we already use for a couple of weeks now. This is actually the landing page of our application, and it's very simple and easy to use and intuitive actually for everyone. The app has, of course, a little bit of a menu. This is the interface for our normal users, regular users. And of course, it has a few buttons here, the home page, which is this one, My Bookings, which is where you see your own bookings, which you can have an overview of. And also, if you need to cancel a certain booking because you booked a desk but decided not to go into the office anymore, you can cancel it, and then a support button. Let's see how we can actually book a desk in our KPMG office. You click the book on site if you need to come to the KPMG office. And basically here we have an interactive map of Romania and Moldova because we have offices in Bucharest, Cluj, Timișoara, Constanța, Iași, and Chișinău. And let's say, for example, someone needs to come to the Bucharest office of KPMG. You click on Bucharest button, and then the next page is actually a list of the floors which are actually open for our people currently. We have 5 floors in our building, but for various reasons, we only opened a few of them, and as you can see here. And employees do not normally use their usual desks, but they need to book an available desk. Let's go, for example, at the 4th floor.
While this is loading, is this a tool that you're using internally or externally as well?
For the moment, it's used internally, but of course, I can discuss a little bit more later. Okay. We offer it to clients as well. So once I click the 4th floor, we open an interactive map of our office plan. And you can see here, these are all the desks on our 4th floor office. But as you can see, some desks are marked with a green button. This means that these are available for booking. And we mark them also physically in the office so that there is a sufficient distance to keep the rules around social distancing. So let's say I want to book a desk over here. Then let me move this window. I have to say on which date I need to go to the office. Let's say 25th of June. End date, I can put also an interval. And then I need to choose an approval. Yeah? So I'm a regular employee and I need someone, a manager or someone to approve my booking. And I choose Sorin Popescu here. I need to put a reason why I need to be in the office. I put for demo reasons, I put a test here, but usually we write here, we need to go there for a client work or for a project or for a training or whatever reason, and I click save. And basically, this is how I booked a seat for myself. I can see it here in the booking list. You can see that I have a pending approval because Sorin Popescu, my manager, needs to approve my booking. And if I go on Sorin Popescu, let's say, user, I have a similar menu here, but I need to go to the approve button, approve page, where I can see that Daniel Nenciu has requested my approval to go on the office on the 25th of June, right? And here I have also the reason, the client code, or the, I can put a client name here to understand why he needs to really go to the office. And I have two buttons here, either to approve or reject his request. Let's say I approve it. And once I approve it, basically Danielle, who requested the approval, will get an email from the system, from the app, with details of his bookings, the approval, and also a copy of the map with his actual number of desk, which is allocated to him on that specific day. As I said, it's pretty simple and easy, but we find it very useful. And actually, our process currently is that everyone who needs to come to the office, be it a regular employee, a junior, or a partner, has to go through the app so we can easily monitor who is in the office and when. So that in a worst case scenario, like someone gets infected or is suspicious for coronavirus, then we can really track easily who that person was in contact with in the office, and we can control the spreading as much as possible.
This is actually very interesting. You adapted quite fast to the whole change and, let's say, turbulence of coronavirus. As I was saying, you're using this currently for yourself. Are you sharing this with clients as well? Is it available for external use?
Sure. We developed it for our own purposes initially because we needed a way to monitor all these things. But once we developed it, we started to talk to some of our colleagues in KPMG in other countries and also with some of our clients, when we realized very quickly that this app is actually very useful to a lot of other companies. So currently we show it and we demo it to companies outside the KPMG network, and there is very good feedback we receive from them, and we actually are in the process of signing a few license agreements with external clients as well. So this is available to whoever wants to use it as well.
With your experience in consulting, business consulting, it will be very useful actually for corporations, because you're kind of using the same processes and approach for business. So that's actually very good. But in terms of team size, what is this tool best suited for? Is it applicable only for, let's say, service companies, software companies, or can it be used in other industries as well? I'm thinking of more traditional industries here.
Sure. There is no minimum team size, and to be honest, in KPMG we have around 900 people. But of course, we have bigger offices and smaller offices. Our biggest office is obviously in Bucharest, but we have smaller teams in Iași, Constanța, and Chișinău, for example. And these teams also use the app, so we ask everyone to use it irrespective of the team size. So therefore, the tool is not necessarily limited or targeted at big companies, but to smaller teams as well. And in terms of industry, of course, there is no limitation as we see it. It is mainly used or to be used by office employees, but it's not necessarily targeted only at service companies or software companies. And in fact, we have discussions with companies in other industry like retail industries and other companies who think of using the app for their head office employees, for example.
That's very interesting. KPMG already has a very innovation-driven approach and is working quite closely with a lot of startups and young companies in growing digital and software products. You've done this especially through the through the KPMG Startup Grow program. Are you planning to grow this project further or work with any other like companies from your accelerator to develop similar tools?
Yes, KPMG indeed is very focused on technology, and we build our own technology, but we are also very connected to the startup environment to see to help startups grow their business and support them. In terms of this specific project, we for sure will continue to develop it. The reason being that we see this tool useful not only in post-COVID or related to the COVID situation, but in an environment where the future of work will change, will evolve for sure. And we think that in the future, employees will ask for and companies will have more flexibility in the way people will be working. And therefore, we see it as a very useful tool to manage work either in the office or in outside the office premises, and therefore we will continue to develop this product going further.
You told us you're a partially remote team yourself at the moment. What are the challenges, if you can share with us, what are the challenges you may have encountered or like some best practices that you may have already learned in all this?
For sure. I mean, we adapted very quickly to the remote working environment, and I was really impressed of all our people who adapted very quickly and got back to business as usual, as we call it now, working with clients and for our clients and working together. And we managed to, keep teams together. And I think if I'm referred to challenges, probably the biggest challenge is to how to keep people connected to the organization and between themselves. And I think here there are a mixed bunch of things you can do from organizational communication, which is extremely important in this period. We found communication to be very, very important throughout the lockdown period, and we had various forms of communication, either in firm-wide webinars or team meetings or all sorts of discussions with our team to understand them, to understand their challenges and to find ways to support them into this remote working situation. But also I think a culture of feedback is very important in organizations who are interested in at least partly remote working environments, because people still need to develop and they need to understand what they do well and what they can improve, and continuous feedback is extremely important or even more important in this circumstance.
And also you experience COVID having impact in a lot of businesses and a lot of clients of yours. How do you feel that this remote work will evolve, and what role do you feel your company will play in it?
As I said, I think remote working is here to stay in various forms. Probably, I tend to think that there will be some sorts of hybrid forms of remote working and office-based work. As I said, employees, I think after the initial shock, they started actually to enjoy remote working. Some of them, maybe more of them, depends on your own circumstances. But a lot of them, find the good parts of remote working, and probably they will ask companies to provide such an environment. On the other hand, those organizations which are able to adapt to the new ways of working will be better positioned in terms of employer branding, probably. Sorry. And therefore, I expect that there will be a hybrid, as I said, ways of working in the future. And the way KPMG can help for sure is either in providing, let's say, diverse technology solutions, because we have a few solutions. One is this check-in up tool, but we have another technology which is very relevant these days for continuous feedback and performance management. It's a tool that digitizes these processes. And also we can advise on all sorts of consequences of remote working, because remote working for sure comes with a lot of challenges, not only in compliance issues, in labor law issues, but also policies and even employee experience in a way. Because, as I said earlier, even if people are not seeing each other, they still need to be connected somehow with the organization. And then how you develop your own processes to ensure that people stay motivated and engaged, I think it will be even more important in the future. So KPMG for sure can help in all these areas.
Thank you very much, Madalina, for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Thank you.
There you go. KPMG, one of the largest international business consultancy company, has proven to be very nimble in the face of change and has adapted and innovated in a matter of weeks. In the face of uncertainty, they responded with a tool that brings clarity to the workforce and to the management of costs. To get through this unstable time, make sure you do the same thing with your company as well. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and join RemoteCon for many more remote tool solutions. Goodbye.